Cancers, let's turn fear into faith this September, and let's have an aligned astro chat about it. Shalom, Cancers! I'm Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to your Transformational Tarot as part of my Black Feather Couture Divining a VIP Life series. So excited to be connecting with you guys today for your September reading. We are going to be pulling cards for you from the Calandra Tarot today. That was the deck that stood out to me, and the overarching theme is from the Spiritual Awakening Oracle. This is by Dr. Aaron Fall Haskell. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay. So I am definitely feeling a level of fear, trepidation for you guys this month. And I feel like part of this is because you're tapping into some of the, I want to say sort of the collective energies that are affecting how you're choosing to regulate yourself, regulate your body, regulate your emotions. And I feel like this is a month where, like I said at the beginning, turning fear into faith is really going to help you. And I just need to say right off the bat, I tend to not like the word faith. I tend to use the word trust instead, but I am hearing very clearly from your guides that the word is faith. So for those of you who are struggling this month, I feel like you want to connect to what you, I want to say, sort of what you believe in, what you know to be true, things that allow you to feel confident, unencumbered, aligned, and connected to self and source. So let's see what your theme is here. Another sign got this too. The law of tithing. Expand your consciousness and all things will be added. So when we talk about turning fear into faith, I feel like this is sort of an action step that you can take. Now, the law of tithing, typically we think of giving money, paying forward, giving 10%, for example, of our incomes to another organization or charity. What I would say to you here is that the tithing that I'm feeling here is more about emotional and energetic tithing. Where do I invest my energy into giving back, paying forward? And PS and FYI, sometimes giving back means giving back to yourself. So you are an in-service sign. You do like to help people. And I think sometimes that might be part of the challenge is that, your love cup is not necessarily full and overflowing, right? Or you have a lot of fear around what's transpiring, how people around you are living their lives, things that are happening to them, for them, through them. And there's a part of you that wants to be able to control the dynamic or to be able to help in a way that maybe saves them from themselves. And I feel like in that instance, you might be looking at this and saying, maybe it's time for me to fill my own love cup here. Maybe it's time for me to give back that 10% back to myself. For some of you, it might be, no, I need to give back to this person, my best friend who's gotten me through, a really challenging time this month. And, they've really been there for me. So it's time for you to, give that 10% back in. However you resonate with that information, that's the energy that I'm feeling. So when we expand our consciousness, all things will be added. So we're going to see how it plays out with the cards here. But fear stops us from fully expanding into what we know to be our truth. So if we're turning fear into faith, you go into the faith of what you know. Trust in the universe, trust in source energy, trust in your angels and guides. That I feel is what's going to really get you through anything that you've got going on in your life. And I don't mean like, September is going to be brutal. Not necessarily. But I do feel that you've got fear of that. You've got anxiety. Oh, and I just got a hit. You guys are feeling what a lot of people are feeling right now, myself included, actually, where I call it the fear and dread. Like there's this
underlying sort of something that's just simmering under the surface. You can't quite put your finger on it. You don't know exactly why you feel what you feel, but there's this energy of there's something coming. And so that could be some of the fear that you're reacting to. So I would say bring your consciousness to that, and that gives you more of a space of being able to respond rather than to react. Okay, so where are you presently right now in your transformational journey? What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? Yeah, so Page of Cups, I feel like you're longing for simpler times. You're longing to be able to play, to be a little more creative, for life to be a little more simple. And what I keep hearing is, so then make it simple for yourself. Like cut out some of the complication. I love that there's this huge wave coming over here. And of course, your water signs, Cancers. So, this is a home space for you. Being connected to that ocean of emotion that allows you to experience your creativity helps you to feel a little more centered, a little more grounded, and brings you back to that playful piece. And I feel like this is what, okay, I feel like this is what is rising, but I feel like it's rising, but you have to like choose it. So what we're seeing here is the wave is behind her. So she's not looking at the wave. She doesn't see it coming at her. She's looking in another direction. And so I want to say to you, the wave is there. It's going to be there for you. It's there now for you, but you're not going to see it unless you turn around and choose it. And that's kind of the energy of what I'm feeling. Also, all of these little fish and starfish and whatever, they're being drawn to your energy. They're trying to get your attention. But again, you can ignore, you can be focused on, the cup, or you can be focused on, the future point in time, or focused on something that's happening in your now. And all of this other stuff just goes away. I think of like ADD, where we get hyper focused on one thing and you don't see anything else. You're so distracted, or you're so hyper focused that there can be like 17 other things going on in the room around you, and you don't know any of it. You don't notice any of it. You're not aware. So I feel like where you're at in your present is there's a lot available to you for play, but you have to choose it, and you have to kind of get out of the reverie of what you would like you're imagining it and you're stuck in the imagination, but it's coming to pass in your now. There's opportunity, it's manifesting in your now, but because you're still stuck in your head about it, wishing it to be so, you're not paying attention to what actually is. I guess that's a better way of describing that. Interesting. Your catalyst, what's fueling or hindering your transformation right now? Is this resistance or rocket fuel? Nope, that's not the right one. I always like to go for ones that either really jump out at me or they stand on their own. Interesting. 7 of Swords. So there's a strategy that you've been living by for quite some time. I'm seeing the number 3, so maybe the last 3 years. For some of you, it could be 3 months. And I feel like you're kind of on autopilot with it. You're like, okay, this strategy seems to be working, and I'm not particularly connected to it, but like it's getting the job done. So like one less thing to worry about. And I feel like here, the catalyst is actually going to be that the strategy doesn't work. Somebody comes around and takes something from you, or surprises you in a bit of an unpleasant or an unexpected way, and causes you to bring your attention back into the now. I do also feel a lot of this, like I would rather bury my head in the sand and not have to deal with this than and I just want to play, but I have to deal with this first. And dealing with this lets me know, oh yeah, I really want to play. And so I'm going to deal with this thing right off the bat and get it done and over with, so that I can now refocus my efforts and my energy.
So the catalyst is going to bring awareness to your present moment. I was talking to you about like you have to turn around and see the wave. This is going to bring your awareness to the fact that there is a wave there, and the fact that you have not been playing, for a while, that you need a little bit of extra. And this is so random, but I'm seeing that for someone out there, you are listening to this and you're like, yeah, well, I'm on vacation, so I am playing. But I want to say to you, this catalyst is going to happen after the playtime. And it's because that playtime was like too little too late, or like not enough. It was a Scooby snack. It was a drop in the bucket. And so the catalyst that comes through is coming through to let you know that you deserve so much more, that you're ready for more, that you can have more, but you have to choose it. It's not going to choose you. You have to choose it. Also, this card is a card of integrity. And I am going to say for about half of you, not all of you, but for about half of you, I do feel that there is a financial situation that you need to bring attention to. You need to look a little further, a little deeper into it. I feel like somebody is taking something from you. Either they're stealing outright, or it's like a bank error kind of thing, where, say you cancel the subscription, and you canceled it 2 months ago, and then all of a sudden, there's a charge on your account again. So I would say for about half of you, if this is a message that resonates for you, just kind of keep an eye on your finances, an eye on money, an eye on people that you're giving money to, or if you have suspicions about anyone in your life that may be stealing. I want to say this is affirmation for you that it's happening. So you might want to take some steps to resolve that, to sort of shift that up. I feel like that's important. All right, we are at your deep root. What deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation under the surface? There isn't one that's standing out to me. Ah, there it is. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this deck, I forgot, this deck has 2 extra cards. It has an as above card and a so below. So you're getting the so below card here. And this is really important because I feel like the deep root really is connected to you being a bit angry about being in the body, angry about being on the planet at this time, angry about a particular foundational environment that you have going on, where somebody has, perhaps let you down, where somebody has broken a contract, is not following through on their promises. And I feel like, when we talk about that deep root, this is where the subconscious lies. I feel like you want to stop avoiding going below, stop avoiding getting to the root cause of it. Don't be passive aggressive. Speak your mind, speak your heart. If you're having an issue with somebody, don't keep it from them. Speak the truth. I always like to say it's very rarely about the message, and more often about the delivery of that message. But very much so here, I'm hearing that it's about making a choice to speak your truth and be above board about it, or being passive aggressive. And I feel like the passive aggressive approach is not going to work for you. That's why this stuff keeps happening in your space, the integrity issues, because there's a passive aggressive approach, or there is a conflict avoidance, right? Conflict avoidance. So I feel like the so below card is coming up to say, this is where the problems lie. The problems lie in what has already been manifested. The problems lie in what is at present right now. Address what is so that you can shift it and create what you need it to be moving forward. Wow. So I feel like this also really ties in with that Page of Cups. It's like, this is the message to really look at everything, like look around at your surroundings, pay attention. There's an owl here too. There's a lot of wisdom in this, but I always like to say wisdom is a nothing burger unless you apply it.
You know, if you don't know something and you don't know it, then what do you do with that? But when you finally know it, when you take a look, you do that examination, when you know better, you do better, right? That's the energy here. And I feel like it's all about expanding your consciousness this month. It's all about really re-regulating I guess the word is just regulating your emotions to match your next steps. Fear into faith. This is the shift. And it sounds bigger than it really needs to be. You're going to be doing this in, I want to say, little micro steps, in micro decisions. And, you know, every micro decision leads you a step closer to like the full blown decision. And before you know it, you're already there. Like you're at the top of the hill and it wasn't as bad as you originally thought. I feel like a lot of you've just been kind of like resisting, holding back something that inevitably needs to happen in order for you to be able to move forward and to find more regulation within your own person, within your own self. What's dying away? What part of you is falling away? What role, pattern, or identity has run its course? Yeah, holding on to everybody else's shit for them. Doing the work for everybody else. Carrying everybody else's emotional garbage. That's what I want to say to you. I feel like with this 9 of Wands, there's a lot of, like 10 of Wands is the rewards and the burdens that go with it. 9 of Wands comes before that, where it's showing like how many trips have you had to make? How many times have you had to walk a particular journey in order to bring that particular wand, you know, into the space to be able to make that gate, you know, that you're now making. You've had to make the trek a number of times. It's tiring. Yes, you can rest on your, you know, but I'm resilient, but I, you know, am able to do things that other people aren't able to do, but I feel like I matter because I'm doing this. I keep hearing the word martyr with this. I feel like there's some martyrdom. Please don't get mad at me. Like, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just passing it on. We all have those moments. So, you know, take what works for you, leave the rest behind. But I am hearing martyr and martyrdom. This feels very much like this is going to die away because you are now you're going to look at the issue. You're not choosing passive aggressive or burying your head in the sand or avoiding conflict. You instead are saying, I'm giving back to myself. And in the process of doing that, I'm also giving back to you because we both need to be able to bring our A games to our dynamics, right? I want to bring my best for you and I want you to bring your best for me. And then we can all expand our consciousness together. And that's how things grow. That's how we build, you know, this fence or this deck or this whatever it is that we're building that's going to be fortified. So I feel like the martyrdom energy is dying away. But again, just like the Page of Cups, you have to choose it. Again, all of these wands are behind him. He knows they're there. That's the difference. In the Page of Cups, she doesn't necessarily know it's there. She's not fully aware. He knows because he's felt all of the, like he did the journey to bring it and to stake it and then to walk back and get the next one and to bring it in and to stake it, whatever. He knows they're all there. The question is, what will he do with them? Right? What is he going to do with them? Is the purpose the resilience, or is the purpose the final product? And I feel like that's kind of what you are evaluating right now. You're letting go of a way that you have been doing something for a long time or for some time, and you're recognizing now, I want something more out of it. I'm ready to receive something more from the experience. Here is your Phoenix potential. What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you toward? This is your breakthrough energy. Oh my God, I love it. Judgment. Ooh, love it. Okay, so the breakthrough really is that you have been wanting for some time, like new life, a new project, a new venture, a new focus, something that lights your fire and floats your boat. And you've thrown some spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. You've
I want to say you've nursed a couple of different ideas, but you haven't really like committed full on. And I feel like this card is coming through to say, what are you going to commit to? The choice is yours, but this is a full on commitment. Yes, it's a choice, but it is a full on commitment. And are you ready to commit to yourself? Are you ready to commit to this new journey? Because this new journey is going to take you into a bunch of different places that you weren't really either prepared for or you didn't know existed. Or you know it exists, but you also know it's going to take a lot of work. Like, I don't know how to do that, so I'm going to have to learn that thing. And I know the process of learning can be challenging. I feel like the question here is, what will you commit to? And she's coming through, and she's not blowing the trumpet at this point. She's actually already blown the trumpet. They're awakening. This guy's actually coming to life. This guy is very skeletal. This guy's actually growing back some skin. So he's coming to life. Even his arm is coming to life. So she's just waiting for you to decide. She's kind of like, okay, like, I've blown the trumpet. I've, thrown out the option for you. It's really about you deciding what you want to do. And I'll just wait here until you make your decision. And I'll wait here until I see that, the coming to life process is complete. I'm not going to leave you behind, but there are things that you need to leave behind. You're a fully formed skeleton and she's holding a head in her hands. This is a person who chose not to move forward. This is a person who is still stuck in the past. So your highest potential here, your phoenix potential, is new life, but you have to commit to it. And yeah, it's going to require a little bit of like growth process. It's going to require a little bit of pain or a little bit of time. Maybe not pain, maybe just a little bit of time, maybe a little bit of uncomfortability, like a different sensation. Like, I can't imagine what it would feel like to like grow back skin. I mean, we all do, we scrape our knees and things like that, but like to have your whole body growing back, like I can only fathom what that must like actually feel like, on that sentient level. So there's maybe some uncomfortability in that feeling, not necessarily pain, but uncomfortability. So you have to choose it. I don't mean like you have to choose it. I mean, in order for you to have it, you have to choose it. And that's why it's coming up and coming through. Wow, I love that for you guys. What's emerging? What is just around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support this next phase for you? Wow, so 2 9s. Interesting. So I feel like this is you getting out of your head. This is you giving yourself permission. I almost want to say to you, Cancers, it's like you get to a place where you're just like, fuck it. Like, I'm so tired of going around and around the merry-go-round. I'm so tired of other people projecting their schedules onto me, their thoughts, their words, their ideas. Like, I'm just so done with it. So I'm just going to say, fuck it. And I'm not going to listen to my head anymore. I'm really going to step more into the heart space. I'm going to go back to where I'm comfortable. I'm going to go back into a state of play, because when I am playing, I feel more at home and I feel more at ease. And when I am at ease, I am able to receive more of my intuitive guidance. I'm able to be more in flow. This stops me from flow. So I feel like what's emerging is an end to this level of rumination, also an end to this level of projection that you tend to receive from other people. Now, we all project onto each other. So I don't mean like, oh, poor Cancer always gets projected on. This is more of I want to say people around you tend to project their fears, their emotions, their thoughts, their whatever, sometimes in a good way, like they're sharing with you and you're holding it. But again, I come back to the 9 of Wands. Stop holding other people's shit. Stop holding other people's feelings and emotions for them. It's not about enabling another person. It's about owning your own energy. And so I feel like you are you're emerging from this. This is how you've been feeling for a while. You're emerging from that. And what is coming for you is more empowerment around, I want to say, I feel like the water energy, like going back home into your home frequency. A recharge is coming up. Your role. So you in this process, how are you navigating this transformation? And are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? You are boldly rising. If you get out of your own way and, like I said, you say, fuck it, you are boldly rising. Cancers, nothing is going to stop you. This is that card of victory. And I mean, look at him. He's like, rah! Like, yes, I did it. I feel like this is kind of what you want to feel. It's what you're feeling on the inside that you're maybe not expressing on the outside, right? We talked about the so below, getting to the heart of it, not being passive aggressive or squashing your feelings down or avoiding saying what you need to say. It's more about how you say it than what you say. And I feel like here, when we're talking about you in this process, you deserve a victory. You deserve a victory, but nobody is going to come over and pat you on the back. And I wish that was different, Cancers, this month. But I feel like everybody is kind of submerged in their own shit. And not to be too crass about it, but that's just the reality of it. You know, there's so much that's going on right now in the collective, and you're seeing it in your people. That's why you're in the place that you're in, because you're holding everybody else up, but nobody's bothering to turn around and hold you up. So this is you saying, fuck it all. I'm just going to move forward in my own happy place. I'm going to create my own victories. And yeah, I still love my people, but I'm going to just take a little break. I'm going to take a little step back. And I'm going to toot my own horn. And in tooting my own horn and in expressing myself in these ways, I'm going to remind those around me, not in a passive way, more in a direct way, that, you know, I do a lot for you. So when I'm asking you to do this little thing for me, it's disappointing that you can't just show up and do it. So I feel like there's a bit of a, maybe you're going to have some come to Jesus moments with some people in your life. I'm hearing, like, particularly like with kids, right? Especially teenagers. They're all little narcissists until they kind of grow into their own, you know, their own persons. And so, you know, as the parent, you're like, you know, you little ungrateful shit. I do this and this and this for you. You don't even know half the things that I do. You live your life because of the things that I do. Just clean your fucking room, right? Like, that's what I kind of feel here. So this may be literal children in your life, but I feel like this is also maybe some of the immature patterns and cycles of people that are coming out and coming through in your life, and you're just getting tired of it. And so you're calling it out. Again, it's all in how you deliver the message. That's what's important here. Circles of support. Who or what is influencing your transformation right now? And is it a positive or negative influence? We have the 7 of Cups. So I feel here like that this is part of the problem, is that you've got a lot of people around you that are kind of floating around you. They all sort of, I want to say, affect you in different ways, but there's not like one person that you can like go to and get your, you know, get your everything. And I feel like some of that is what is frustrating you or pausing you, because it's exhausting. You know, it's a bit tiring to reach out, and you just need a certain something, and you leave feeling half fulfilled, half satisfied. This isn't to say that, you know, your friendships are bad, or your community of support, your circles of support are bad. I feel like this is just where you're at right now. And it's really because you've been maybe not giving to yourself, not receiving based on what you're giving, over giving without getting something in return. Again, I come back to the law of tithing, right? Giving that 10% or taking that 10%. Maybe it's tithing to yourself, right? So 7 of Cups, it's dreams and illusions, it's choices, it's spoiled for choice in a lot of ways, like having too many options.
But I feel like here, this is about you being more discerning about, here's what I need, and here's the person that I know is going to be able to give it to me. Or here's what I need, and I know that this person is not going to be able to give it to me. So where else do I go to get what I need? Don't keep going back to the same person expecting different results if you're not getting what it is that you need in the first place. And I feel like that's really important because the discernment falls to you. Each of us has responsibility to be in discernment for ourselves. And this is kind of, I want to say, like a reminder of that. I'm not feeling so much the dreams and influences here as much as I'm feeling the discernment of choice. Hopes and fears about the change. What are you dreaming of becoming? And what scares you about actually doing it? Yeah, you're afraid that your heart's going to be broken, you're going to break someone else's heart, that you're going to be abandoned. You're afraid that people are going to say things to you in the way that you say it to them that's going to be wounding. You are afraid that what you're asking for is going to be too much. And even though you know that you need it, there's a fear that if you ask for it, it's going to change and shift up the dynamics in a way that you're not going to be able to recover from or come back from. What was the theme today? Fear into faith. And I feel like that's what's coming up here. This is a card of self-care. This is a card of self-nurturing, believe it or not. You know, you've had a wound, you're feeling low, you're feeling down, you've had pain. Words have wounded you, a loss has, occurred. And you're the one who usually kind of lifts other people up when they're going through that. And now you're needing some of that support. And you're questioning, well, I was mean to this person, or I said this to this person, or I said it in that way. And now I'm in the same boat. Or now I'm going through something and I don't know. I feel fragile. I don't know that I can handle, someone saying the same thing to me. So I feel like a little bit of like maybe self-reflection on the way that you're communicating things, way you've communicated things in the past. And what I want to say to you is if this resonates with you and you're a Cancer that feels this way at this time, I would say to you, go to the person that you know is going to be able to give you what you need. Just say to them, I'm sorry you went through blah, blah, blue and I dropped the ball on that for you last time. And I really, I feel so bad for, that. And now I know I'm finding myself in this situation. I'm really struggling and I really could use some help. If you approach it in that way, it's more likely than not that person is going to have compassion for you. And they're going to say, I got you. I feel you. No worries. But, I know what you're going through, so let me help you out. Let's talk about it. Or, come here. I'll give you a hug because I know that's what I needed when I was going through this. So I feel like when we're talking about hopes and fears here, you're afraid that someone is either going to give you what you gave or they're just not going to have the capacity to give you what you need. And I would say we come back to that 7 of Cups using discernment around who you can reach out to. Go to the person that has the thing that you need, right? And this is also giving back to yourself, nurturing yourself, loving yourself, caring for yourself. You can get this from others. Absolutely. You have to ask for it. But I feel like you also need to give that to yourself. And that, I want to say, just seems to be a theme, especially with that law of tithing piece. Okay, we are at our outcome card. So if you stay on course for September, who will you be on the other side of this journey? And what is the result of embracing the full cycle of death and rebirth? Wow, fully coming into your own. So feeling more comfortable in your own skin, feeling more like yourself, feeling more connected to your own space, your own energy.
your own love. I'm really drawn to the anklet that she has, an anklet of pearls around her. I feel like this is like the pearl energy. The pearl is created through the grit, right? It's the beauty. The beauty of it comes from the struggle, right? You have it around an ankle and a foot, legs help you to move forward. They get you to move forward. And for you in particular, being water, they help you to swim, right? They help you to be in flow, to the rudders, to navigate the direction that you're going. So I feel like you're in the process of getting ready to take a journey where you're going to be in flow and you're going to be using your rudder, but you've got the support of this wisdom that you've gained through struggle and strife. I want to say to you, this says to me right here, you learned the lesson. So you're ready to move on to that next level. Turning fear into faith. Having faith that you're going to, like, this is the prize. Okay, I've got the pearls now that are going to help this rudder. It's like a supercharged rudder. It's going to help steer me to where it is that I want to be. And I feel like that's really kind of an important thing. Queens also are about structure, order, delegation of things. And I feel like you're going to, on the other side of this, at the end of September, you're going to feel more aligned, more recharged, so that you can structure your life a little bit better. And I feel like that delegation piece, like you're going to be very clear on who you want to connect to, who is going to be the right fit for where you are going, where you are moving to next, if that makes sense. Wow. Okay. So, Cancers, that is your transformational tarot for September. And, there's a lot that's going on here. If I can be of service in any way, please feel free to click on the link below, book a session with me. Happy to help you out and, see if we can kind of navigate these waters together. Until we see each other for another segment of Transformational Tarot. Oh my God, I'm losing my brain. Or any of my Black Feather Code Tour Divining a VIP Life segments. I wish you all the best, sending you love, lots of support, and we'll see you on the flip side. Transform well.